In a stunning tactical victory near Donetsk, Ukrainian forces destroyed 12 advanced Russian Desertcross 10003 vehicles in a single precision strike. Using a perfect combination of drone surveillance and artillery, the operation not only demonstrated the strength and advancement of Ukrainian military tactics, but also marked a significant turning point on the battlefield. Military experts have described it as a major blow to Russia's military deployment strategy, forcing Russian commanders to reconsider their tactics on the Donetsk front. Strategic significance of Desertcross fleet. The Russian military's adoption of the Chinese-manufactured Desertcross 10003 fleet marks a significant shift in their tactical vehicle strategy. With the Defense Ministry already deploying 537 units in a basic configuration, plans are in place to acquire an additional 1,590 vehicles by early 2024, representing a substantial investment of 4.2 billion rubles. The Desertcross 10003 plays a versatile role in Russian military operations, fulfilling multiple critical functions. It is employed in reconnaissance and patrol missions, search and rescue operations, tactical supply transport, wounded personnel evacuation, and near-rear logistics support. Its versatility and adaptability make it an essential asset in various military scenarios. The vehicle itself boasts impressive technical specifications. Powered by an 87-horsepower V-twin liquid-cooled engine, the Desertcross 10003 offers a load capacity of 550 kg, with a towing capability of 300 kg. It has an operational range of 250 kilometers and can reach a maximum speed of 80 km/h, making it well suited for a wide range of military tasks in diverse environments. The vehicle features electronic fuel injection, all-wheel drive capability, and a 4,500-pound winch system for challenging terrain operations. Its compact dimensions of 3.4 m length and 1.8 m enable superior maneuverability in confined spaces. Russian forces have implemented a phased deployment strategy, with the initial 537 units already in active service. The military plans 2 major deployment waves, 500 vehicles in December 2023, and the remaining 1,090 units in the first quarter of 2024. Each basic configuration unit costs 1.58 million rubles, while enhanced versions with additional features are priced at 2.1 million rubles. The vehicles undergo specific modifications for Russian operational requirements, including the installation of heaters, enhanced cabin comfort features, and reinforced bumpers for improved durability. These adaptations reflect the military's focus on optimizing the fleet for extended deployment in varied combat environments across East Ukraine. Ukrainian counter-operations. The Ukrainian military has made significant strides in integrating drone operations into their tactical framework, with nearly every fighting brigade now maintaining dedicated assault drone companies. This systematic approach represents a key evolution in their counter-operation capabilities against Russian forces in eastern Ukraine, enhancing their ability to conduct precision strikes and gather critical intelligence. As a result, the modified Russian vehicles designed for durability and extended use in harsh environments are facing significant challenges from Ukraine's evolving drone capabilities, which target both supply lines and frontline equipment. Ukrainian forces have established a sophisticated command structure that allows specialized drone units to operate across various mission profiles, including surveillance, artillery spotting, and precision bombing. The military coordinates these elements through secure communications channels, with target coordinates being relayed via the Kropiva digital mapping system, which aggregates data on Russian positions. This ensures seamless coordination between reconnaissance and strike elements and allows for the real-time sharing of target data. The military's tactics are continuously adapted based on post-strike assessments, further refining their operational effectiveness. The Ukrainian drone surveillance system operates on multiple tiers, with units varying in cost from $500 to several $1,000s. The surveillance methodology is diverse, with basic reconnaissance drones conducting short-range trench-level surveillance, specialist winged drones offering long-range reconnaissance, and FIV combat drones executing precision strikes at tactical ranges. These drones have proven to be highly cost-effective, with FIV drones often costing less than a single artillery shell while delivering superior accuracy in targeting. In terms of precision strike execution, Ukrainian forces have developed a systematic approach to target acquisition and engagement. High-specification reconnaissance drones transmit real-time video to operators, enabling precise identification of targets. This capability has been particularly effective in forcing Russian heavy machinery to retreat several kilometers from the front line. The persistent presence of drones has severely restricted Russian mobility, making it difficult for infantry to move between trenches or reinforced positions. Ukrainian forces have excelled in combining drone operations with traditional artillery, creating a synergistic effect that maximizes the impact of both systems. Recent operations, particularly in the Pokrovsk direction, highlight the success of these tactics, as Ukrainian drone operators have effectively degraded Russian mechanized capabilities. As a result, Russian infantry have been forced to advance primarily on foot, showcasing the growing influence of drone warfare on the battlefield. Battle damage assessment. This shift in the battlefield dynamic is further supported by recent battlefield assessments, which reveal substantial losses in Russian military assets across the Eastern Front. Particularly significant are the losses in specialized equipment deployments, such as the destruction of 2 Chinese-made Desertcross 100-03 all-terrain vehicles near Krinky in the occupied Kherson region. These setbacks are part of a broader pattern, with Russian forces suffering notable losses in both equipment and personnel across several sectors, underscoring the growing impact of Ukrainian tactical innovations, including drone warfare, on Russian military operations. In terms of confirmed vehicle losses, the Russian military has suffered over 3,000 armored fighting vehicles in the past year. Additionally, the battles around Avdiivka between October 2023 and February 2024 have led to the destruction of 404 armored combat vehicles. On average, Russian forces are losing around 180 armored vehicles each month. Despite maintaining 537 Desertcross units in basic configuration, the ongoing combat operations are depleting this inventory, raising concerns about the impact on Russia's tactical mobility and supply capabilities in the coming months. The human cost of the conflict has been equally severe. In Avdiivka alone, Russian personnel casualties have reached 10,000 within 1 month, with daily casualties averaging between 400 and 600. Overall, Russian forces have lost approximately 315,000 personnel since the start of the invasion. According to the UK Ministry of Defence, the daily casualty rate for Russian forces has increased by around 300 throughout 2023. If this trend continues, Russia could face losses exceeding 500,000 personnel by the end of 2024. In response to these losses, the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense has launched comprehensive equipment recovery operations. These efforts have successfully returned 1,500 pieces of equipment to active service, including Melbay armored auxiliary vehicles, Brem armored recovery vehicles, and a variety of other armored assets. Additionally, over 2,000 military-use items have been reclaimed. Meanwhile, Russian forces have attempted to mitigate their losses by restoring equipment from storage facilities, reactivating approximately 1,180 to 1,280 main battle tanks and 2,470 infantry, fighting vehicles and armored personnel carriers. However, the restoration rate of about 185 armored vehicles per month is insufficient to keep pace with the ongoing combat losses. The assessment suggests that if current loss rates continue, Russian forces could exhaust their Soviet-era equipment reserves within 18 to 24 months. This depletion would likely force significant operational adjustments in their eastern Ukraine campaign strategy, potentially leading to a shift in tactics or a reduction in operational capacity. Impact on Russian logistics. Compounding this issue are the logistical challenges that have emerged as a critical factor in Russia's military performance. Recent evaluations have highlighted significant flaws in their operational design and force employment, which have further strained their ability to sustain operations. The destruction of Desertcross vehicles, in particular, has exacerbated these logistical difficulties, forcing the Russian military to make substantial adaptations in its logistics operations. As equipment losses and logistical disruptions mount, Russian forces are increasingly facing a situation where both their operational and logistical capabilities are being stretched to their limits. This creates a vicious cycle that could limit their ability to continue effective operations on the Eastern Front. One of the primary constraints facing Russia's military is the disruption of its supply chain, particularly within its artillery support network. The heavy reliance on rail transport has created vulnerable points in the logistics system, which Ukrainian forces have consistently targeted. This has forced Russian forces to move their logistical support bases significantly further from the front lines, creating what military analysts refer to as the extended last-mile problem. Key indicators of this disruption include the relocation of ammunition depots beyond the range of HIMARS systems, increased transportation distances for basic supplies, manual transfer requirements between different transport modes, and reduced efficiency in ammunition delivery systems. In addition to these logistical challenges, the Russian military has faced significant hurdles in maintaining its equipment levels. Between February 2022 and August 2024, documented losses have included over 3,500 trucks and support vehicles. Despite continuing revenue from oil and gas exports, Russia's ability to manufacture advanced weapons has been severely compromised. The constraints on critical resources have had a major impact on their operational capabilities, with key issues identified in the manufacturing of advanced components, a shortage of trained maintenance personnel, and disruptions in the supply of replacement parts. In response to these logistical strains, Russian forces have implemented several tactical changes. The military has adopted a more dispersed supply network, replacing larger centralized depots with smaller, mobile distribution points. This shift was directly driven by the introduction of HIMARS, which posed a significant challenge to the efficiency of Russian logistics operations. Despite these adaptations, the new supply system has not come without its drawbacks. The requirement to position supply points further from the front lines has led to reduced ammunition availability at forward positions. Furthermore, the military's reliance on mass fires, especially from multiple launch rocket systems, has placed additional strain on the already stressed sustainment system. These logistical challenges have extended beyond tactical concerns, influencing Russia's strategic capabilities. The country's industrial base faces major difficulties in sustaining military production, with critical shortages in advanced manufacturing capabilities. As a result, Russia has increasingly turned to external suppliers, including partnerships with countries like China, to maintain equipment levels, such as the Desertcross fleet. These challenges underscore the broader impact that logistical disruptions are having on Russia's ability to sustain its military operations in the ongoing conflict. Technological warfare analysis. At the same time, the technological landscape of the Ukraine conflict has evolved into a highly sophisticated battleground, where electronic warfare and unmanned systems play pivotal roles. This technological aspect adds another layer of complexity to the conflict, with both sides striving to gain an upper hand in the electromagnetic spectrum. Recent assessments reveal that Ukraine loses thousands of drones each month to Russian electronic jamming and maintenance issues, underscoring the intensity and multidimensional nature of this technological confrontation. These technological disruptions, alongside logistical challenges, are proving to be significant factors in shaping the course of the conflict and further complicating Russia's operational capabilities. Drone deployment on the battlefield has reached unprecedented levels, with Ukraine having contracted to acquire 1.6 million drones in the current year, of which 1.3 million have already been delivered. These drones range from basic reconnaissance platforms to advanced AI-augmented units capable of autonomous target acquisition. Ukrainian forces have excelled in developing AI-enabled systems that can operate effectively even in areas heavily protected by electronic jamming. The technological evolution on the battlefield includes first-person view combat drones, long-range reconnaissance platforms, autonomous targeting systems, and maritime drone capabilities. At the same time, the electromagnetic spectrum has emerged as a critical battle space. Russian forces have deployed an estimated 18,000 to 20,000 troops dedicated to electronic warfare operations, with a range of capabilities that affect both drone operations and broader military systems. These include signal jamming, which disrupts communications and affects drone control systems, GPS spoofing, which interferes with navigation and causes drone crashes, and radar suppression, which degrades air defense systems and reduces detection capabilities. In response, Ukraine has developed advanced countermeasures such as the Pokrova system, which is designed to counter Russian satellite navigation systems and mislead incoming missiles. This system has proven effective, as evidenced by over 20 missiles failing to reach their targets during a single attack in January. Additionally, Ukraine is focused on developing AI-powered software solutions to counter signal jamming. These systems allow drones to operate autonomously when communications are disrupted, and manual backup systems, such as Xbox controllers, have been integrated for drone operation in case of failure. Russian forces have also deployed sophisticated electronic warfare systems. The Shipovnik Aero complex is capable of seizing control of enemy drones while operate operator locations with meter-level accuracy. Their Krasika 4 system, which operates at ranges up to 300 kilometers, can disorient advanced missile systems and interfere with air defense radar stations. These capabilities illustrate the critical role of electronic warfare in shaping the outcome of operations on the ground. The technological arms race has only intensified with Ukraine's unveiling of its first missile drone, the Palanitsia, which boasts a range of up to 1,800 kilometers. This significant development marks a major advancement in Ukraine's deep strike capabilities, especially as the military continues to innovate and adapt to overcome Russian electronic counters. As both sides refine their strategies and technologies, the conflict continues to showcase the growing importance of technological warfare in modern combat. Battlefield implications. This shift in technological capabilities is closely tied to the evolving battlefield dynamics in East Ukraine. Ukrainian forces have demonstrated enhanced operational effectiveness, leveraging both traditional military tactics and cutting-edge technology. Recent military assessments indicate that Ukrainian forces have successfully engaged Russian units across multiple sectors, with daily Russian casualties averaging between 400 to 600 personnel. This transformation underscores the increasing impact of technological innovations, such as the Palanitya missile drone, which is playing a key role in Ukraine's broader strategy. As both sides adapt their methods and technology, these advancements are reshaping the conflict, highlighting the integral role of technological warfare in modern combat and its influence on the battlefield. Ukrainian forces have secured several tactical advantages through their evolved warfare approach. These include the integration of combined arms operations with drone surveillance, the development of localized air superiority capabilities, the implementation of advanced electronic warfare countermeasures, and an enhanced ability to target Russian supply lines and command posts. The effectiveness of these innovations is evidenced by the confirmed destruction of over 100 Russian tanks and 100 armored vehicles, along with approximately 50 artillery systems, particularly in the Avdiivka direction. These successes demonstrate the growing capacity of Ukraine to disrupt and degrade Russian operational capabilities. The strategic landscape has also shifted considerably, particularly in the Donetsk region, where Russian forces captured hundreds of square miles between September and November 2023. This territorial exchange has created new operational dynamics, with key areas like Pokrovsk, a vital rail and road hub, coming under increased pressure, while Ukrainian forces have made significant advances in the Kursk region, controlling over 1,200 square kilometers. In Donetsk, Russian forces have gained over 600 square kilometers, although Ukrainian forces have shown remarkable adaptability in holding critical positions despite intense pressure. This adaptability is particularly evident in Ukraine's ability to integrate Western weaponry, which has been crucial in maintaining defensive lines, especially in areas requiring combined arms operations. Looking ahead, the evolving battlefield situation suggests several significant implications for future operations. Russian forces have modified their approach, now conducting simultaneous, mutually reinforcing offensive efforts, while maintaining constant pressure on Ukrainian resources. This adaptation has resulted in enhanced Russian electronic warfare capabilities, particularly in countering Ukrainian drones, increased use of aviation bombs, especially Soviet-era glide bombs, and the implementation of scorched earth tactics in urban areas. Additionally, Russia has developed new defensive strategies to counter Ukraine's growing use of unmanned systems. In response, the Ukrainian military has focused on establishing localized air superiority over limited areas and times, which has proven effective, particularly when coordinated with ground offensives to support breakthrough operations. As both sides adapt to the changing battlefield, military analysts predict that the future will see a continued emphasis on the development of counter-drone capabilities, enhancements to electronic warfare systems, the adaptation of combined arms tactics, and the evolution of urban warfare strategies. These developments will have significant implications for the broader strategic balance in the region. Ukrainian forces have demonstrated their ability to execute long-range strikes effectively, while Russian forces have shown increased proficiency in defensive operations and electronic warfare. As the conflict evolves, these changing dynamics will play a central role in shaping the future direction of military operations in eastern Ukraine. Military expert perspectives. In line with these evolving dynamics, military experts have conducted a comprehensive analysis of the shifting conflict, highlighting the significant changes in operational capabilities on both the Russian and Ukrainian sides. Recent assessments from leading defense analysts reveal complex patterns in military effectiveness, including new strategies, innovations, and adaptations that are reshaping the battlefield. The interplay between these factors will continue to drive the evolution of the conflict and the strategies employed by both forces as they seek to gain the upper hand. Strategically, analysts have observed Russian forces making gradual advances south and southwest of Pokrovsk. However, questions remain about their ability to exploit these gains effectively. Russian military command has adopted a split responsibility approach in this direction, dividing the tasks between the Central Military District's 2nd and 41st Combined Arms Armies. Despite this, significant activity in certain areas has been limited, and combat effectiveness has been compromised by several factors. These include substantial armored vehicle losses, a reduced rate of advance in specific frontline sectors, and the challenges posed by Ukrainian countermeasures. Additionally, the Russian logistical support systems have come under significant strain, further limiting their operational effectiveness. From an operational standpoint, Russian forces continue to maintain a numerical advantage in several key areas. In artillery, they possess a 5-1 ratio, giving them a distinct edge in frontline engagements. Personnel-wise, Russia has approximately 500,000 troops deployed in active combat zones, and they maintain a 10-1 superiority in ammunition, which supports sustained operations. However, despite these advantages, the operational environment has evolved significantly, with Russian forces adopting defensive tactics in response to heavy losses. In the Avdiivka direction alone, Russian forces have sustained approximately 10,000 casualties over a month. On the other hand, Ukrainian forces have demonstrated remarkable resilience, particularly in their ability to hold defensive positions while conducting effective counter-operations. Their integration of Western equipment and adaptive tactics have played a crucial role in maintaining battlefield equilibrium, allowing them to successfully counter Russian advances despite the challenges they face. Looking ahead, military experts have outlined 3 potential scenarios for the conflict's development. The most optimistic scenario suggests that increased Western support, particularly in the form of F-16CD fighters and ATA-CMIS missiles, could significantly enhance Ukrainian capabilities. This would improve their ability to defend against Russian offensives while bolstering their training and force generation. The intermediate scenario foresees continued defensive operations with limited territorial losses in Donbas, though manning challenges could intensify by late 2024. The most pessimistic scenario predicts reduced Western support, leading to ammunition shortages and increased pressure on Ukrainian lines, potentially resulting in significant territorial losses. Beyond military considerations, experts emphasize the strategic challenge Ukraine faces in maintaining internal unity and strengthening its institutions. The sociological, economic, and political consequences of the war will play a crucial role in determining the long-term sustainability of Ukraine's defense capabilities, regardless of which scenario unfolds. Russian forces are expected to maintain pressure along the entire front line, utilizing their superiority in personnel, munitions, and equipment. Analysts anticipate that Russia will launch increased offensive operations before new Western commitments materialize, potentially targeting the Black Sea coast to tighten their blockade and secure fleet operations. These developments indicate that the conflict is far from resolved, with both sides adjusting strategies to navigate an increasingly complex and fluid battlefield. Regional security impact. The regional security landscape across eastern Ukraine has undergone substantial transformation due to prolonged combat operations and territorial exchanges. The Russo-Ukrainian War, now extending beyond the duration and intensity of 90% of all interstate wars in the past 2 centuries, has created unprecedented challenges for regional stability and security frameworks. On the Donetsk front, Russian forces made significant operational gains, controlling around 600 square kilometers between September and November 2023. The military situation has evolved into a complex pattern of territorial shifts. Notably, Russian control in the Avdiivka sector has disrupted supply routes, while active combat in the Vulita region has made it a contested logistics hub. In the Pokrovsk direction, Russian forces have maintained significant pressure on a critical railway junction, marking their most substantial territorial gains since early 2022. The impact of these operations has spread beyond immediate battlefields, affecting adjacent sectors as well. In a bold counteroffensive, Ukrainian forces successfully seized approximately 1,000 square kilometers of territory in Russia's Kursk region. This move forced a redeployment of Russian strategic reserves, created new operational challenges for Russian command, and disrupted established logistics patterns, adding pressure to Russian domestic security. The conflict's intensity has caused widespread infrastructure damage, with almost 6,300 kilometers of track destroyed, crippling regional transportation networks and forcing both sides to adapt their logistical operations. Strategically, the conflict has caused a significant rebalancing of the regional security environment. In 2023, the Biden administration allocated nearly $260 million to Moldova, signaling a broader approach to countering Russian influence in the region. This shift highlights the recognition that any effective strategy must involve Ukraine's neighboring countries and their role in securing regional stability. The war has evolved into a protracted conflict of attrition, where Russian forces maintain numerical advantages in several areas. They outmatch Ukrainian artillery by a 5-1 ratio, have approximately 500,000 troops deployed in the theater, and possess ammunition stockpiles exceeding Ukrainian reserves by 10-1. However, these advantages are mitigated by significant Russian losses, with daily casualties reaching 1,500 soldiers killed or wounded in October alone. This high attrition rate has forced both sides to reassess their strategic positions and operational capabilities. As the situation unfolds, the international response has evolved as well. The transatlantic alliance has recognized the need for a long-term strategy to support Ukraine while containing Russia. This has led to the development of comprehensive defense frameworks, enhanced regional security cooperation, economic pressure mechanisms, and strengthened cyber defense capabilities. The situation remains fluid, with Russian forces showing improved defensive tactics, but also suffering significant losses, such as the loss of approximately 10,000 personnel in the Avdiivka sector over a month. Despite these challenges, Ukrainian forces have shown remarkable resilience, particularly in holding defensive positions and conducting successful counter-operations. This adaptability, bolstered by Western support, has helped maintain a strategic balance despite Russia's overwhelming superiority in personnel and material. In conclusion, the shifting regional security landscape highlights the complex nature of the ongoing conflict, where both Russia and Ukraine continue to adapt to a war that exceeds historical expectations in terms of duration and intensity. While Russia maintains key advantages in personnel and artillery, Ukraine's resilience, tactical innovations, and crucial support from Western allies have allowed it to challenge these advantages and sustain its position. As the conflict progresses, both sides will likely continue evolving their strategies, with the outcome remaining uncertain but deeply shaped by the ongoing adaptation to changing circumstances.